With the launch of the center comes the release of the Shastasaurus, a large whale-like tameable creature with a submarine-style saddle. The saddle itself is unlocked at level 100 and costs the resources shown here. It can only be crafted at a tech replicator, which means this can only be crafted after you have defeated at least one boss and unlocked the tech replicator. I am not currently sure where these spawn naturally in the wild, but I'm sure this information will be added to the wiki soon enough. For now, we're just going to spawn one in and I'm going to show you how to tame it. To tame the Shastasaurus, you're going to need access to 4 things. Scuba gear, a sickle, an ichthyosaurus, and taming food. I did some testing on the taming food and the best I found to use was extraordinary kibble. Something I found unique, which I'm not sure if other creatures do this or not, was that you can use lesser kibbles without losing taming effectiveness, at least for the first couple of feeds I tried. However, what I did notice was that lower kibbles received only very small percentages every time you feed, such as 0.5% on the one I was trying to tame. Whereas as soon as I switched to extraordinary kibble, I was getting much higher percentages per feed. The same goes for raw prime fish meat. It was getting a little bit more than the worst kibbles. However, it was still nowhere near what I was getting from extraordinary kibble. To start the taming process, bring an ichthyosaurus close to one, and then a minigame will begin where the Shastasaurus and your ichthy will start showing off to each other playfully. A side note, this is one of the cutest things I've ever seen, and I die a little bit inside every time they play from an overload of cuteness. Once the minigame starts, the Shastasaurus will float to the surface, and you will have the opportunity to remove several leeches from its underbelly. A timer will display at the top once this starts, and you'll need to locate and remove all the leeches before a progress bar reaches 0. A single strike from your sickle will remove them. Once the leeches are removed, you can feed your kibble to the Shastasaurus. You can only feed this when standing very close to its mouth, and trying to feed it from further along its body will show you a warning. Once you feed it, it will proceed to swim away from you slightly, but it will stay close enough. But you may need to chase it a little bit with your ichthyosaurus just to make sure that you are close enough for it to trigger the game again. If you continue doing this on repeat over and over again, you will eventually tame yourself a Shastasaurus. Once you place the saddle, a large submarine-style compartment will be attached underneath. When you mount and dismount, you will be placed inside. It is basically a large vacuum compartment with a tech door at the end so you can enter and exit as needed. You can build inside directly without needing foundations to place items down. There's reasonable enough room for a mobile base, but there isn't really enough room for large items like an industrial forge or tech generator. The Shastasaurus has many different abilities. To be honest, I have not perfected their use yet, but I can show you what they are. You can cycle abilities by holding control and pressing left or right click. Then use right click to use the ability shown that's above your hotbar on the right side. The first is the sonar ability, which marks nearby creatures. The second ability is the flashbang. I'm not too sure exactly what this does, but it seems that it would disorient attacking creatures or players. The third ability is the pulse one. This seems to knock water creatures quite far away and also do damage to them. The next ability is the torpedo. So this actually costs rocket-propelled grenades as the ammo, so you need to craft up some of them, and then you can put them straight into the Shastasaurus's inventory, and then you have the ability to use this. So you could use your right click to aim. This seems to work better when you're in first person mode and you aim at creatures. It's a bit tricky to aim. I was testing it on small creatures, so maybe this would work a lot better on larger creatures like a Mosasaurus. But for testing purposes, this did seem to do a fair bit of damage and worked well. The last ability is the periscope. So this one's a bit interesting. So it does seem to say that it's got a zoom height option using left click, but I couldn't really seem to get it to do anything while I was trying to control it. But either way, it's a pretty cool concept. It just allows you to sort of look around with a 360-degree angle whilst mounted on your saddle. It's pretty good. So that's pretty much the Shastasaurus in a nutshell with everything known so far by me. There's probably a lot more to this creature that I haven't even touched the surface on. So yeah, hopefully there's more to be learned and we're going to enjoy all having this in our new games. So this is going to be great. Well, anyway, guys, if you did find yourselves informed by this one, I really would appreciate if you can go ahead and hit that like button. But yeah, for now, that's can't wait to get stuck into the center and I'll see you guys there.